Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, and despite all appearances, this is yet another 2 a.m. Recording of Banner of the Stars. I only say this just in case I seem a little bit different than I normally am, although if you're watching this in series, just about all of my reactions are 2 a.m. reactions at this point. And yes, it's for the typical reason, it is so hot around here. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Well, I do know what to do. I gotta spend a couple $1,000s on trying to fix the AC. Money I don't have. Anyway, that's apropos of this entire reaction series. I am just sharing too much. Anyway, we are on episode 10 of Banner. I believe this is a 13 episode season. So we are fastly approaching the end of things. The enemy fleet has arrived. Uh, and I believe the first fleet is on its way, or at least 12 squadrons, I believe, from the first fleet. I'm assuming the entire fleet is on its way, because that's what it made it seem like last time. But they're going to be 50 hours away, which would indicate then that either this combat is going to be very protracted, or that the fleet is just going to arrive too late. There's just not much we can do about that at this point. What else is there? I guess we really haven't seen what the enemy forces are like. All we know is that they outnumber our current Aptic system defenses. What was it, 15 to 1? And even if the main fleet does, not the main fleet, the first fleet does arrive, that they would be 7 to 1. So they would be outnumbered either way. I keep saying the first fleet. I'm thinking I'm wrong. It has to be the third fleet, right? Hold on. I don't remember where I put this in my notes. It's Admiral Spore, aka the Duchess. And I'm pretty sure she was in charge of the third fleet. Let's see. Nope, first fleet. I was right the first time. Oh, that's right. Lord DeSanyo is in control of the third fleet. I asked that before because my notes had it wrong. So yeah, despite the name of the last two episodes, one being the Eve of Battle and the last one I think was the Battle of the Bas Royal, no fighting has actually happened yet. I think like this last episode we fired off all of our mines into planar space and the Bas Royal was getting ready to shoot. And that was it. Everything has been building up to this fight. So if this fight is not as entertaining as it was built up to be, I am going to be super depressed. Because I think I've said it before. This show did an amazing job of its very first space combat with the Gosroth. I sang its praises to high heaven, and I will still do. It was one of the best space combats I've seen in a very long time. And the battle between the Lafiel and Clowall was also good. I appreciated the whole dragging him through an antimatter field, which acted like poison for some reason. I mean, it was explained to me, but it was still very confusing because it's not the way I expected antimatter to react. Uh, and even then, we call back to that still. Like, Clowall is heading off towards Galaxy Center, which is funny in an respect that it goes against his wishes to fly out of the galaxy. So, into the horrific description that the book gave his death. What else? But yeah, everything after that, everything in this season has handled, I would say, the entire aspect of combat in a mass group poorly. I appreciated the Kobayashi Maru thing that we got at the season beginning, showing Lafiel's how personal she took taking the loss. That was good because it wasn't based on the combat; it was based on how it affected people emotionally or logistically. And of course, the Sieg Royal, God, that whole thing, that was fucking amazing. It's just everything else around. I've said it multiple times now. I am not invested in the twin brothers. Their whole shtick is not. I don't know. There's just something that's not bringing me in on it. And Lord Desano has just been confusing. Him and his chief of staff. There's a difference between back in Crest of the Stars when I said what an ob doesn't say is just as important as what they do. I think in regards to that was Sloof and Lafiel, after they had just killed Clowall. That's when I started saying stuff like that. Lord Jasani was just fucking confusing. I can't figure out what he implies by what he doesn't say. Because what the chief of staff, she responds to his not saying stuff or implying things doesn't seem natural. I just can't figure it out. They are like the two different kinds of ob that we have witnessed before, reacting off of one another in the exact inverse of how I would expect them to be. So, yeah. This episode is coming off of the back of a couple of very peculiar episodes, I feel like, who themselves followed up on two amazing episodes. Again, the birthday dinner episode and the Sieg Royal sacrifice. So, it's got to do a lot of work in my eyes. It's got to do a lot of work, and I know I have been talking to people who are watching this along with me, and they are in it. They enjoy it. They like it. That's great. I appreciate that they are enjoying this bits, but for me, these bits are just falling flat. And I just don't get why. It might entirely be me, and if it is just entirely me, then I apologize if you've been following all this way just to get disappointed all of a sudden. I'm trying, I really am. I still love the characters that I've loved so far, and I want to see more of them. Like I said, the Duchess, I want more of the Duchess, and now she's 50 hours away. I don't know if we could just skip time or not, but I wish we could just to get her here. Just to have her standing on the bridge like we should. Like, what was when the Sufaganov attack, right? That whole fleet engagement. She made that fun, and I understand that war is not fun, but I also do not see us getting that whole Gundam war is bad. Look at how it affects people message. Seems to be entirely a completely different thing, kind of like the way we keep playing off the president refusing to surrender for political reasons, kind of as a funny little joke, right? I don't think we'd be doing that if we were trying to take this seriously. At the same time, we only really take seriously the loss of the characters that are close to us. So, I don't know. Maybe that's an entire misread on my part too. I'm probably rambling. I think it's because I'm already starting to get overheated. These putting the headset on kind of keeps all the heat in, and I have to turn all the fans off in order to not ruin the sound quality any more than my voice already does. So I say it's about time for us to just go ahead and get into it and watch episode 10 of Banner of the Stars. Narrator does have a smooth voice. I'll give him that. Because it sounds like he's enunciating things very purposely. Like, I don't know what he's... Obviously, I can't impersonate the voice, but... It just seems like there's more intent to it than any of the previous readings that we get. I mean, obviously it's the same text. I'm just commenting on all the times this has happened. Yeah, 15 is what I said.
始まったか。敵先行機雷軍突入予測時間。機雷軍正面より接近。
We're still in the realm of what happened the last episode. There's another ship that responded to, the one with the apple on the side.
射程距離に入りました。汎用手法発射。分裂。
Oh, it is what I said.
生きてる。これか。ウィンブルにいたのは。エクリア。
I thought I had completely made that up. They were mines that exploded into smaller mines. What the hell? They are Matryoshka mines. I called that. Hey, what happened to your smaller laser platforms? Seems like there's enough of you that you should all be able to group up, shoot the mines down with your smaller lasers. The issue with there being a second wave is that they already fired all of their mines into the sword, right? So a second wave would be entirely compromised of every mine that their own mines did not destroy. So the first wave is a massive wave that you ate up with all of your mines. The second wave would have to be then even bigger than the first wave. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be. It could just be whatever reserve mines were left, but I think we handled that facet in the very first actual combat the Battle Royale had in this season, where they indicated that they fought against the patrol ships for a very long time, as it just sent wave after wave of mines at them, and that's when they started closing the distance, when it could no longer fire at them from across its own time-space boundary, right? So I guess it sort of indicates that the United Mankind fleet is heavy on mine usage. Makes sense that they super developed their mine technology now. So I would expect the second wave to have more mines than the first wave. I mean, when it comes out of the sword anyway, it would have exactly as many mines as the first wave had. But we eliminated a large number of the first wave mines.
敵はどれだけ嫌いを持ってきたんだ。主力部隊との戦いに取っておこうという発想はないのかな。たとえ僕たちを叩きのめしてアプティックにこもるつもりでも嫌いは必要なはずだ。敵に教えてやったらどうだ。できることならそうしたい気分だよ。本当に何を考えているのかな。何を考えているにしろ。
I mean, they could be thinking that they have 8 times as many mines as they normally have due to their new mine technology.
ここで負けたら追撃戦はないんだよ。お前にしては驚くべきまともな考えだ。お前がこの当然の考えに賛成してくれるとは、それこそ驚愕すべきことだ。二人で驚いていても仕方ないね。腹立たしいが賛成だよ。全巡察官に伝えるんだ。対抗雷撃を開始せよと。どうした？少し遅かったようだ、ネレス。バカな。一体何が起こっているんだ？
You're losing.
新兵器です。
新兵器？冗談を言っているのかい、君は。
I mean, there's 15 times as many of their ships as yours, which means they can carry 15 times as many of mines. And if their mines split up twice a piece to make 2 that then make 4,
なるほど。索敵隊の報告にあったやつか。悔しそうだぞ、ネレス。形勢が悪いことがか。
And they have 120 times as many mines as you have. Or at least 120 times as many mines as you expected them to have.
突撃艦をどうする？このまま敵の雷撃にさらしておくのはちと気の毒だよ。仕方がない。敵の突撃艦が飛び込んできたら彼らの力が必要なんだ。でも何か手を打たないと。護衛艦と組ませろ。え？一個突撃隊に一個護衛隊をつける。編成は各分艦隊司令部に任せる。うん、堅実だ。分かっている。時間がないんだ。急げ。分かった。
Asshole sitting on the back line just watching everyone die.
各艦の情報も統合して敵の弾頭の履歴を明らかにできないか。どういうことだ？分裂後の弾頭の一つ一つについて撃破されたかどうかを調べるんだ。撃破されていないのに加速していないのは待ち伏せをしている。そいつらについて
Which has been their tactic.
機関の思考結晶にそれだけの作業がこなせるか。膨大な情報を処理することになるな。でも試してみるだけの価値はある。可能かどうか担当に測ってみよう。
It's funny, I think it would be possible today with like, when I say cloud processing, I don't mean like the cloud, I mean like particle processing. Back then though, I guess that would be a almost insurmountable feat to even imagine.
予定通りならアプティック門方面での戦闘が始まった頃ですね。
そう、私たちの到着前に片付けてくれるかしら。
数の上では圧倒的に我が方の不利です。我々第一艦隊および主力の第三艦隊なくしてアプティックは守れないでしょう。
Okay, so they are just sending like 12.
まだ見つける方面の防衛を優先されていますが、アプティックに移動するのも時間の問題でしょう。敵は明らかにアプティックに戦力を集中しています。
そう。じゃあやはり私たちが一番乗りね。
順調に行けばその予定です。
そういえば、あのお姫様どうしてるかしら。確かアプティックよね、配属先。
お姫様
？3年前、スファグノーフで救出して差し上げた迷い猫のように
Glad
可
we
愛
got
ら
the
しいお
Duchess.
姫
That's all I
様。
asked for. Yeah, I mean, the Bass Royal is legit on the front lines. What else?
温度上昇。
エクリア、4、8。
機関出力 0.05 減衰。
エクリア、加速してなくても弾頭らしきものは撃つがよい。了解。でも加速しているだけでも手一杯。
Somewhat disappointed we don't have the mathematicians with us anymore.
敵機雷の状況は？
移動中の機雷は見当たりません。しかしどこを向いても破片だらけ。もしどこかに潜んでいるとしたら休眠から覚めない限り判別不可能な状態です。
よし。
Scarier thing is the
0.2減衰する。
lack of friendly signatures that were on that map.
助かります。
主系列翼少子、被害状況は？
最初の爆発で多少右舷走行板に傷ができたくらいです。問題はありません。
いくら新品同然でも一発食らえばプラズマになってこの世とおさらばだ。
全員気を抜かぬよう。指令より通信。ご苦労、バースロイル。
Oh, good, she survived too.
問題ありません。
That wasn't sarcasm. I'm actually happy she survived.
どうやら護衛艦の砲撃が始まったようね。これで少し楽になるわ。
ありがたいんだか危ないんだか。
敵の本体は現れたのですか？
わからないわ。でもおそらくまだね。敵は機雷
As
攻
long
撃
as they
で
don't
徹底
identify
的に
you
我々を
as
何払うつも
debris,
りよ。
we should be good.
左舷後方より機雷。
ほら来た。じゃあまた後で。健闘を祈るわ。
エクリは数は3つ。
I will point out though that 3 episodes ago, this was the exact strategy I said.
言ってください。
form a line around the gate and just keep up a constant barrage.
あの爆発は
味方の巡察官のようです。
バカな、巡察官がこんなとこに来たらいい標的だよ。
まさにそのようだな。
深入りしすぎたんだ。
救出に向かう。司令と
I
護
mean,
衛
the
艦
patrol
隊
ships
連
are
絡を。
fucking proud ships. I wouldn't be surprised. Got new respect for our love triangle character. You're doing a good job.
目標周囲に機雷群を確認。距離70ウェスタージュ。
距離を維持しつつ前へ。
前方2、4、8。
Okay, so the love triangle girl controls the side weapons and Lafiel controls the main gun. That's my understanding now.
外壁温度上昇。一部に誘拐確認。
機関出力に影響あり。
後方836。
Do it like the gas rod. Pull it to the very end. That's all you can do.
今のは
軌道ロイルです。
殿下をお助けするとは。
Apple ship.
夜なら勲章ものだな。
Didn't know the name of it. It's got the Apple logo on it.
後方18、6。
Remember when I said they should just all form up next to each other? Yeah, sucks to that guy.
直撃弾はなかったのに。
中はボロボロのようだな。助からね
遅かったよね。
No escape pods though, that's good. Quite often in these scenarios, you don't even see the,
第一突撃隊全艦へ。
I mean, general
巡察
sci-fi
官はもう
terms.
ダメ。カリークの護衛に回るわ。
え。了解。
Ah, god damn these mines. They're really more like torpedoes if you think about it.
救難信号だって出てるのに、カリークは攻撃用じゃないんだ。
相手が機械じゃな。悲鳴だって聞こえやしねえ。
そうでなくても人類統合体の方々は我々アーブを人間とは認め
And
て
they
い
did
ませんから。
program the mines to attack this way.
私には聞こえる。散っていく者たちの
Oh,
声。
that's right, she's tied into the
みんな
ship.
の声が。
第一突撃隊全艦へ。ここから先は私たちの担当区域じゃないわ。引き返すわよ。
しかしカリークが。
護衛艦が何とかするわ。
了解しました。
護衛艦って。
I would argue that Kellex
彼らだっ
can
て心
do damage, considering we saw Lafiel take out Clowall with one. But that's only against a human target. They would do nothing against the mines, so they are entirely right in that respect.
そうだね。戦場なんだよね。
突撃艦の援護はうまくいっているのか？効果は出ている。とにかくこの機雷さえ発射できれば敵の機雷を随分押し返すことができるはずだ。素早い対応とは言いかねるな。どうするんだメレース。お前の方こそ検索はないのかネフェ。とりあえず突撃艦を下げて護衛艦を前に出せ。護衛艦には疑わしいものは片っ端から始末しろと伝えろ。突撃艦を下げすぎだ。敵艦が飛び込んできたら今度は護衛艦部隊がひどいことになる。分かった。平凡だな。お前の惨事はいつ聞いても心よいよ。では指示を急いでくれ。分かった。
Oh, that's a lot more red now.
左舷装甲板に箱を。該当区域の閉鎖機密漏れ停止しました。負傷者は機関部に軽傷者1名。
誰だ？
メントクランです。
パーリア、指揮官の出力が減衰してるぞ。
今の衝撃が原因です。あと20秒待ってください。
分かった。クランは
That's
大丈
very exact.
そのクランが修復を。大丈夫。あいつは不死身です。よし。指揮官出力 0.95 まで復帰しました。行ってください、監督。
戻りました、艦長。
感謝を。
味方の機雷攻撃はどうなっているの？
Oh, we better not fucking lose
戦
her.
火温度上昇。至近距離での爆発です。装甲板には損傷はありません。
いい加減にしてほしいわね。
待たせたねメレース。戦列艦の準備ができたよ。急いで射出しろ。敵の機雷を押し返すんだ。
So a slight reprieve as the counterattack hits the enemy
正面より敵
mines.
機雷3個接近。もうすぐ味方の機雷が到達する。これを乗り切ればもう一息だ。受かるな。
If we lose this guy, because they're counting on the mine offensive and it didn't come, then fuck those twins.
迎撃に向かうようです。艦長、機動量後方から機雷3個が追尾。
気づいているのか？
ええ、攻撃はしているようです。
よし、援護に向かう。
あと2つ急いで片付けろ。電か。せっかくの貸しが無駄になりますな。やったか。
まだ。
I can't help but think that the twins are like, oh, I'm sorry I kept you waiting. Everything's ready to go. They're fucking dawdling and taking their fucking time.
艦長、正面から機雷多数。撃ち落とせ。ダメです。射撃不能。
指令より通信。
So we've known that guy for 3 episodes now. No name, but we've known him.
識別信号はあるけど注意して。
来ました。味方の機雷です。
まるで
Souls.
魂の。
Yeah, now I remember this from the preview. said, these assholes are sitting in the back line, all happy and giddy about this RTS game that they're playing.
しかし、これまでに随分やられてしまったな。敵の本体はまだあの中だというのに。いっそのこと、あの門をくぐり平面宇宙に打って出て、一か八か艦隊戦を挑むか。バカな。そんなことしては確実に殲滅される。ビーボス一族の華やかに狂える衝動に、僕も突き動かされようとしているのか。
無数の命を飲み込んだ戦場。いや。
Because it feels like they got fucking endless mines. Their new Matrushka mine method. Wait, what? We've been... When they mean the main fleet, they clearly mean the 12 ships, or 12 squadrons of the 3rd fleet, right? Which was 50 hours out before. So they're implying that we have been fighting this fight here for 45 hours now? That's a hell of a time jump. You know in Dragon Ball Z where like 5 minutes happens over the course of like 10 episodes? In here, 45 hours happened over the course of 25 minutes. It's crazy. No, that was an amazing battle. I appreciate that they managed to keep everything in scope and scale to a small part of the fight when we're focusing on the Battle Royale. I keep saying Battle Royale, it's Battle Royal. When we're focusing on the Battle Royal in some immediate area and how hectic and turmoil that whole thing is. And then we go back to the 2 assholes in command of the whole thing. Just looking at a map. Like, what do we do now? Alright, well, go patch that on Commander. You hold here for clearly 40 hours. Pisses me off, those two. I didn't like them before, and now I'm witnessing people dying because they're either their insanity or their incompetence. Oh, it's like next time on.
皆さんお待ちかねの格闘戦の時間が来たわ。
なお上昇中、走行版誘拐の危険があります。
ラフィール、遠すぎるよ。
これで4対4。
私は馬上試合で負けたことがないんだ。
You did, though. You did in the very first episode of the season, the whole Kobayashi Maru scenario. I don't know if that's considered jousting. I don't even know what you would consider jousting when it comes to these assault ships. I'm assuming it'd be the whole main cannon thing. But it's literally how the... Was it Deca Commander at the very first episode took you out? So that was a Hector Commander, I can't remember. Yeah, I do appreciate that the United Mankind has made this new weapon, which is exactly what I predicted it would be, but I thought I was wrong, and then it turned out I was right. This whole Matrushka doll, I don't know what you call it. We were watching Firin recently, and Firin, they had the concept that the demons are like the kind of evil that would call out for help on a battlefield just to lure you in to kill you. And even there, I brought up the concept of screamers, where the screamers are like little machines designed to kill you unless you like put out a friend signal. And then they start designing like little children that need your help, so you bring them back to your base so they can kill you. Or even a later one where it's a soldier like screaming in pain on the battlefield that's designed to kill you when you get too close. That these things are sit in the wreckage and then will target you when you come back after the battle. Or even the evil that we saw before, that they target escape pods. that are sending out distress signals. It's just all bad. And the fact that they have 15 to 1 numbers means that they have 15 to 1 numbers on mines, which means that they have 15 to 1 times. Again, I don't know what the split is. It seems like the mine splits into two, that then each one of the two splits into four. So I'm saying that's 15 times 8 mines, which I believe I said was what, 120 mines? So they have 120 to 1 mine advantage, if not ship advantage. I don't know how many mines a ship can hold, but we already covered before that they spent multiple hours fighting a couple of patrol ships that were bombarding them with mines as well there in a previous episode. And apparently we've been in the mine portion of this fight for the last 45 hours, and it's not even close to being done. So, yeah. And like I said, I fucked the twins. They did the thing happened that I said, which is basically our knight guy who was on Kid Royal. Kid Royal, the Apple ship, got overwhelmed because the twins were just dilly-dallying around. They don't fucking care. Dude took so long getting everything up into alignment that, you know, the missile, not the missile, the mine barrage from our side to counter theirs just didn't get there in time. I mean, I'm calling out tactics that they're doing, but I said to do it from the beginning. And if I'm coming up with, like, these same tactics, then what good are you? I'm no military genius. I haven't played StarCraft in years. It still seems pretty obvious that if there's one place that all the mines are going to come out, and you've got, like, laser turrets in mass, just keep a barrage up on that thing and make sure nothing comes out of it. If you don't have any friendly reinforcements coming out and you know none are coming, then keep firing on it. You're not going to hit your own. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh on them, but we've lost people that were good people. People that we saw at least within the last 3 episodes for the first time. People that it helped us when we needed it, that did not deserve to die. I feel like they didn't die because the battle was harsh. I felt like they died because their support was bad, and their support ultimately comes down to the two idiot twin admirals. So, there's that. Now, I am just going to keep rambling here. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and get the notes, which allows me to take the headset off, which gives me a moment's reprieve from the heat that's building up around this area. So I will see you after the notes. Alright, back from the note taking. The more action there is, the less notes I tend to have to take, I find. So, first off, The Matryoshka mines have to be the biggest development in weapons technology in forever. We have the massive anti-proton guns and the rail guns that we saw on the patrol ships. But those are relatively short-ranged super weapons by comparison to the mines. By comparison, the mines can travel through planar space on their own, making them infinitely longer range than the biggest guns on any other ship. The Matryoshka mines are also now programmed to search and destroy specific targets, and are smart enough to not only lie in wait, but know what objects to lie in wait for near them. Also, sorry, I meant to be able to lie in wait and near what objects to avoid detection. Obviously, they know what to search for. On top of that, they can evidently split into 8 smaller mines that appear to be just as effective as their larger versions. Even in the middle of a firefight where they're being targeted. I think that was one of the first things this episode. One of their blasts hits the mine and the mine splits immediately. So, I mean, they're almost like AI. I would. Sorry, if I was making this, like if this was like happening right now, I would be like propositioning the author like maybe the next series should be like, what if the ob, but the mines, right? What if we do like a whole artificial intelligence gaining sentience? We made the mines too smart, and now the mines are threatening. You know, actually, that's a Star Trek Voyager episode. Now that I think about it, it's 2 of them actually. One, you have Dreadnought, which is the ship-sized planet buster that has an artificial intelligence that gets lost, and it can reason its way into not shutting itself down. And I can't remember the other one. There's like a fleet of missiles basically that are swarming out trying to find their target that no longer exists, but they're smart enough that they're basically like the dreadnought thing, except it's a swarm instead of this. Anyway, tangent. The only real counter to the mines, assuming you have enough forces to fight against them, is having a ship with a computer strong enough to simulate their movements to be able to even guess where they are hiding and target them when they go into stealth mode. Which really is just another bonus to their design. They bog down your enemy's resources in trying to figure them out, which are then ships that are also not fighting on the front line against you. And side the mines, as discussed, are so very long range already, the front line is wherever you want it to be. Like all these losses we've incurred, the fleet hasn't even come out of the sword yet. We don't even know how far away from the sword they are. As previously discussed, the mines can travel through planar space. That patrol ship was a hero, even if they were the ones that ended up needing rescue and being destroyed in the end. We've seen the scale of patrol ships in the past. It had the shields and the firepower to draw mines away from the assault ships that were dropping like flies, even in the Admiral's own boards. It was just a massive fly trap for the mines. Its guns were non-stop destroying all around it. It was cruising into oblivion, and I'd like to think it knew it, and that it was doing it for the good of its brethren. Additionally, without orders of the admirals, which I also respect, because I fucking hate them. I mean, they were annoying, and I didn't understand them before, and just add on top of that, now I think they're doing a bad job in getting people that I like killed. Not people that I directly have talked about before, but like the Knight dude on the Kid Royal, I respected that dude, and he lost his life trying to fight and supporting his friends. Fuck the Admiral twins. Actually, on that note, I hope that this episode inspires Lafiel to actually seek out the Jade Throne. Seeing the ineptitude of the Admiralty on display with the loss of life she's expressed hearing die through the ship's connection, the choices of Lord Desanio in putting those 2 morons in charge of the defense, and their own slowness to act in the face of the enemy, and their own losses, I want her to rise up to make a change in how things are done to ensure another Aptic system tragedy ever happens again. So, yeah, I guess mainly my thoughts are about how amazing these new mines are. And then I hope that the look on Lafiel's face that we've gotten throughout this episode is the emotional kick to spur her to want to achieve power, not for power's sake, but to make a change in the system that would prevent this thing that's happened from ever happening again. And I'm aware that the current Empress said this is going to be the last war that we'll ever fight, but I don't feel like that's happening, and I feel like somebody who's in it right now, and not somebody who's off not fighting, has to make that change, and Lafiel has that feel to her, I hope. I feel like she does. Anyway, this has been Theta, another Stone Face Reactions, 2 a.m. blistering heat report. And I will catch you in the next episode of Banner of the Stars.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?